break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Love you. Oh, something's wrong with mine.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's me. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason I never turned on, I guess.
Oh. Sorry about that. Let me do it again. Welcome to Radical Truth, the Power, the progressive news show with Les BS3. I am your host, Marlon Kleiber with Theos Robinson. And on today's show, wasn't a very good week for the sickos out there. Didn't go the way you sort of thought it was going to go. I ain't saying it's the death knell. I ain't saying all that. What I am saying is it's one step closer to the death knell. Before we get started, let's see who's in the house tonight. Hey, Anna.
Hello, Anna.
Let's see. And Tracy's in the house. Hello, Tracy. Mickey's here. Hello, Mickey.
Hey, hello.
And we got that one person that's on Twitch that just likes to watch.
Hello to you too.
Hello to you. So, without
I'm
further
a little disheveled today.
Say that again.
A little out of sorts. Yeah. So sorry. I'm getting together. I'm here.
Y'all ain't gonna say anything about my new background.
Well, I saw it was different.
I got sick and tired of always being like my light looks more like a halo and I'm descending from heaven than actually a light. So I figured it was the background, so I just removed it. Okay. You have a white background though still.
No, I just had to move because my heater was on and I was about to bake. It was rough.
Oh Jesus. I'm still recovering for the 49ers with it. Yeah, okay.
Oh, so Tracy's out there celebrating gang culture. I'm surprised by that.
Are you really?
Nah, she got a little thug in her.
Oh, your light looks much better, Marvin. Not the background, but the light that used to be on your face. Yeah, it was the background that was washing out the lighting itself.
Are you in the same spot?
Yeah. It's actually the same spot.
Oh, okay.
See, when I first started off, I thought I was being smart and saying that I'm going to put something up back here to block the sound so it won't vibrate and everything else. Then I just stopped caring.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that, like getting the little room barrier so I can sit it behind me like you do. So maybe the sound can get contained a little because sometimes I get a little hollow.
Yeah, so. It's probably hollow now. It probably is. That's what it is, Anna. I just removed the background thing. I just got sick of. I look at every video that we do. I rewatch it, including when I do the video with Thea's on his show, and I rewatch it, and everybody looks naturally glow and everything else, and I'm the only one that looks like, I'm still ascending down from heaven with a halo over my head. You could tell the difference between it. So
yeah, that almost made me sing the Halo song, but since I can't remember the words or the melody, I decided it was probably not time to do that.
Good. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Oops. Hit the wrong button. So we're going to start off with Prince Charles. Prince Charles is in a lawsuit against a civil lawsuit was filed against Prince Charles for sexual assault of a 17-year-old back in the day. He's been fighting it for a while, and now it has come to fruition that the judge has decided for the very last time to dismiss his argument to this. He dismissed his argument to dismiss the whole case.
Well, a New York judge has rejected a motion to dismiss a civil sexual assault case against British Prince Andrew. This rejection means the case will be heard later this year. Virginia Giuffre is suing the Duke of York, claiming he sexually abused her when she was just 17 years old. She spent time as a minor in Jeffrey Epstein's orbit, where she claims she was one of his sex trafficking victims. Prince Andrew has consistently denied the allegations. CBS News reached out to his counsel for comment, but we have not heard back. CBS News foreign correspondent Charlie Daggett joins me now with the latest. Charlie, what arguments did Prince Andrew's legal team make, and what should we expect next?
Well, Jerika, Prince Andrew's legal team had hoped that a settlement that Jeffrey Epstein made with Virginia Giuffre back in 2009 for $500,000 that would protect other potential defendants would include Prince Andrew, too. But today, that judge ruled that does not cover Prince Andrew. As you said, he's accused of sexual assault, which he has repeatedly and vehemently denied. Now, none of the options are great. Now, he can try to appeal, which is going to be difficult for obvious reasons. He can ignore it and default, and it will be judged against him. He could try to fight it, which would mean dragging himself and the royal family, by association, through even more mud. And, of course, that would pile up costly legal fees. Or he could try to settle it out of court. But lawyers here say that would be a substantial cost, too, simply because Ms. Giuffre has got him over a barrel. We need to remember this is a civil case. It's not a criminal case. So one thing he would not be facing is the threat of prison.
Okay, just to make it perfectly clear, yes, Anna, I should have said Andrew, not Charles. It was Prince Andrew. Before I get to any of the other comments, this is the aftermath of what happens when the judge decided that he's not going to dispute.
Prince Andrew is no longer the colonel of the famed Grenadier Guards. All of his military titles have been returned, and he will no longer be known as His Royal Highness. A statement from Buckingham Palace confirming the termination ends by saying the Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. That case is a civil lawsuit in the U.S. brought by Virginia Giuffre, who says Prince Andrew sexually assaulted her when she was 17, a claim he denies and unsuccessfully tried to have thrown out of court.
This is very definitely the Queen distancing herself in her Platinum Jubilee year, 70 years on the throne, a unique achievement, and someone who has given devoted service. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of all her family.
Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliam says Andrew has simply become toxic. The reputational damage is done. More than 100 veterans had urged the Queen to take action, writing, "We are particularly upset and angry that Prince Andrew remains a member of the armed forces and continues to hold military titles, positions, and ranks, including that of Vice Admiral of the Royal Navy. In Windsor, Brits are standing by the Queen."
I think the Queen will rise above it. She's been around for a very long time, and she's an extremely wise and sensible lady.
Now, this is not the first royal scandal, but it does hit close to home. It's the first time the Queen has had to take such action against one of her own sons. Crystal Gamansing, Global News, London.
Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear. While I do think the winds are changing, that there are certain people on high level that is now starting to be made responsible for their actions. It's happening now. Because I couldn't even imagine the hundreds of things that have gone through that castle that has been swept under the rug on purpose. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm pretty sure it's in the hundreds over the years. So this, to me, is a mild celebration. Quite honestly, I think the dude need to be in jail. Apparently, that's not going to happen. But at least he's not going to get away with something. I'm kind of curious to see how long his money is going to hold up. Now, that's speculation because It's one thing to say, "Hey, you're not a royal highness." There's another thing to say, "But you still can use our money," which I couldn't even imagine how much that's worth. But so yeah, it's some things, it's certain things to take a small celebration in, but I'm not jumping up and down hip hop hooray type situation on this in any kind of way. Theus?
Um, First thing I'll say, I don't have any love, interest, or concern for the royal family. I consider the entire family to be stained with blood and sitting on stolen wealth. So I don't care about the queen. I don't care about her family. I don't care about her son. I don't care about none of them. None of them. Sorry, I just don't. Um, Once again, another rich person. He's getting punished socially, but he won't face any criminal consequences. Um, and basically, he's just one name out of however many that. What's the guy's name? Epstein.
Yeah.
It was it Epstein. Okay,
Yeah.
so he was a pimp. Okay, so let's just be what he is. He's a pimp and a human trafficker. So they got him.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, they got him. Then whoever didn't want him to divulge too much got to him, and now they got his pimpstress, or the what do you call them, the bottom dollar bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Mistress.
So we got her, okay, but what's really being done for all the people who were truly affected, and then what about all the other connected people who are just gonna go by? I'm sorry, I'm so jaded on it. Nothing would be enough for me because.
And that's what I mean. This is not in any kind of way, shape, or form a hip hop hooray, woo, we got them kind of situation. It's the equivalent of you loan somebody $100 and you should be happy they gave you $1 back.
Well, I mean, for me, it's just one more time that we're gonna fixate on the royal family because it's not even about the young lady who's bringing the charges. Let's just be real. This is about the royal family and how this will reflect on their reputation. And I'm sitting here as a black man who descends from chattel slavery saying, I'm disgusted that you even have a reputation to protect. So,
well, the funny thing about it is that's why they got rid of old boy to begin with, to save their reputation, which is funny in and of itself that you really think you could actually protect your reputation. This is the equivalent of just acting like you're being blind to the subject.
This isn't the first time
their reputation's been shot for decades.
But it's only shot for those like, I guess I'm speaking loosely because there are a lot of black people who are enthralled with the royal court as well. But generally speaking, people like us or like me that just don't care about them. But there's a lot of people that overlook all the history. They'll overlook the fact that these people are still sitting on stolen money. Yep. They'll overlook all the harm and destruction that this family has done, and that this queen, she's been there for 70 years. So this queen has oversaw. Look past all of that, and it's a queen, it's a king, it's a princess. I don't care.
Yeah, it like I said, it's a drop in the bucket, and
yeah.
And like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's interesting, but
I hope it sends him into deep depression and he becomes a booze hound and sits alone in his wonderful estate that he still is going to get to keep, and is just so depressed that he doesn't have his titles anymore, and he just dies broken and alone. He won't be broke, but maybe broken. That would be okay.
I got one better.
Too much? Sorry.
No, I got one better. I'll just add on to it, and we don't know anything about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't care.
Oh no, I don't need
know
to see
anything
you
about
suffer.
them.
That's not necessary.
I,
But be nice for you to go ahead and go over there
I
and
don't want to
suffer
know
somewhere
about it.
and go.
I don't want nobody to come back and go, oh, can we get an excerpt of what happened 5 years after this and everything? No. Let them live in misery
And let's
alone.
just be real. He's a prince. Whatever his actual, because you know that they throw all these inbred titles that they have, but he's a prince. That's the queen's son. Okay, so he's lived the prince's life, his whole life. How much did they already cover for him?
Yeah, that's what I
And the rest
said
of
at the
his
beginning.
siblings and cousins and all that other stuff. So
That's what I said. This is such a drop in the bucket of this is a pebble in an ocean of injustice.
yeah, and it's not even a matter of, I don't even know if I can give it a modicum of justice because it's still civil. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like he still evades personal criminal liability, and everyone who's around it evades it. But he might lose some money that he never worked for anyway.
Don't bother me none. Not my money.
So
Yeah, at a certain, you know what? And I'll go on a limb and say at a certain point that probably wound up being her job.
well,
I mean, it ain't like
she's
she had
probably
anything else. It
she
ain't
has
like she had
somebody
anything
else
else to
that's
do.
their job. Like she ain't do nothing. She's just as, never mind. She has a better image than the rest of them, but nah, she's yeah. But I doubt she put her hands on anything. She has people to do that for her.
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
house arrest. He's let's say they put him on house arrest in a palace. Oh,
You showed him.
I can't take the mega yacht, mommy. I have to take the regular yacht. But whatever.
I'm about to say something, but I'll probably get kicked off by saying that. So never mind. Never mind. I can't even find a way around that. It'll get me kicked off. So we're gonna move on. Your best friend, Matt Gaetz.
The human Beavis and Butthead doll.
Yep. So Matt Gaetz is still going around saying ain't nothing happened. He ain't do nothing, blah, 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 even though the mounds of evidence is piling up, even though everybody that he was associated is now flipping on him because you ain't that dang popular that I feel like I need to go tens of 20s of years in prison for you.
He's just another rich kid frat boy, and now he's getting caught.
His daddy paid him. His daddy paid his way into office. Let's just.
That's what I'm saying. He's a rich kid frat boy. That's all he is, and his bloodline, because he fell out the right source and was raised in the right circle. He didn't work for anything he had. I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't worked. I can't say that, but I can say that he got doors open for him that other people wouldn't. And this is not the first thing that they had to cover up for this guy.
Rich boy problems. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Don't even know who that is. All the royals are evil to me, so I don't even think about it.
Well, maybe this story. Did you read it?
I couldn't catch it. Eating marlin. I'm eating. Stop with Casey makes me want to barf. Yeah. Yeah, that big old. I mean, it's just a really big head. Like, really big. Like, he can't wear a t-shirt. He's got to wear polos and dress shirts. That's a big head. But oh well.
Oh, she's the queen of Denmark.
Not familiar. I'm sorry. Typical American. I don't know much about those things.
Yeah, that's on us.
Yeah,
You know,
that's me.
we always have a habit of not knowing anything outside of our borders.
And we barely know what happens in here.
Unless it goes on OAN and then.
Or then you come out knowing less than you did going in.
But anyway, we're going to get to Mr. Head real quick. Find out what's been going on with him.
You're concerned you'll be indicted?
No.
Back in June, Representative Matt Gaetz seemingly unconcerned about the chance of being indicted in a federal sex trafficking case. But the emergence of a potential key witness could be a serious threat. CBS News has learned Gaetz' ex-girlfriend appeared in court Wednesday where a federal grand jury is investigating the case. She was expected to testify. His ex, who CBS News is not naming to protect her privacy, has been negotiating an immunity deal with federal prosecutors related to an obstruction probe involving witness tampering tied to the case. Her lawyer was spotted at the Orlando courthouse Wednesday, but he remained tight-lipped.
I can't make any comment. I apologize, and I would, but I have no comment.
Gaetz has been under investigation to determine if he violated sex trafficking laws and obstructed justice. The congressman is accused of having sex with a 17-year-old in exchange for money. Federal prosecutors are looking into a trip Gaetz took to the Bahamas back in 2018, and they want to know if he took an underage teenager across state lines for sex. Sources tell CBS News that Gaetz was on that trip with a marijuana entrepreneur and a hand surgeon who allegedly paid for the travel, accommodations, and female escorts. This grand jury testimony could be critical because multiple sources say the ex-girlfriend traveled with Gaetz to the Bahamas in September of 2018. An attorney for Gaetz told CBS News in a statement that, quote, "We have seen no credible basis for a charge against Congressman Gaetz. We remain steadfast in our commitment to challenge any allegations with the facts and law."
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie.
The grand jury testimony of the lawmaker's ex may indicate that this case is advancing quickly, and it is a critical step for prosecutors looking to charge the Republican congressman, and they are potentially inching closer to an indictment. Nate.
Okay, I got to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, that was not at all what I expected that correspondent to look like. First. Second, how did he get on air? Because he sounds like he's dealing with constipation, congestive heart failure, and trying to hold back a sneeze the whole time he was talking. How did he? I got to do better.
Okay, first of all, the fact of the matter is he was the best of the best of getting this story, so I had to use him because he hit everything that I needed. But yeah, this is the second time I'm hearing it, and I'm glad I ain't got to hear it no more because, oh my God.
That was painful, dog.
Yeah, Susan, yes. He felt like he was trying not to cry. Like, this movie was just really devastating to him in some type of way, shape, or form.
Sound like he got the bubble guts and he's trying to get through the segment.
Oh boy. I wonder if we stick a pin in Gaetz' head. Oh no, it's hard as crap. That's solid mass.
Yeah, he's a walking head tumor. But yeah, so Matt Gaetz, I don't know what's going to come of it. He's an elected official, even though he's just in the House, which really to me isn't really that special. But he's still an elected official, and he's rich, and his daddy's connected. And what might keep him out of criminal prosecution is he's also a key figure in the January 6th situation.
How would that keep him out of jail?
It's kept every other high-ranking official from being closely looked at because either one, the DOJ doesn't want to touch it, or two, the DOJ is about to touch it, and when they do, it's going to be a big sedition RICO case. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's either they're not going to touch him at all.
We're trying to keep him in play then.
Yeah, they're either going to not touch him at all, and he gets away with everything except for maybe a civil case will hit him, or there's behind the scenes with the DOJ talking to the states like, all right, Florida, hold tight. Hold tight. We have to get this out of the way first. And if we finish this, then you can have them. They do it all the time.
Tracy, I don't have that video anymore. I tried looking for it, and I really just can't find it. I've tried several times to look for it, and I really just can't find it.
Yeah, they were making fake IDs. They were harassing elected officials. They were doing all kinds of stuff. But I'm sorry, I just look at the country I live in. And this country does not punish sex crimes as real crimes. And they don't punish wealthy, well-connected people for much of anything.
He just sounded like he was crying at me.
He sounded like bubble
guts. Yeah.
He definitely had the hot ass going. But hey, he managed to get through it. So the Democrats can't prosecute anybody.
No, I disagree on the reasoning why they won't do it. I don't think they won't do it because they scared the Republicans got something on them. The Democrats are still trying to play fair and impartial games.
No, they're not. They're trying to play politics with it. The Democrats like to say that they don't play politics, but that's all they're doing.
6 months from November come and I don't see anything accidentally being released, I'm sticking to my fact that you're trying to play nicey.
See, I'm going with they're playing politics because they've already like right before the new year, so that we wouldn't go into the new year thinking they're doing nothing. All of a sudden you start leaking emails and text messages. That never should come out. We shouldn't know anything about that, especially not the actual words.
I think we'll find out. I'll say it like this. Certain things need to start leaking accidentally. Somebody left their laptop open around August.
Yeah, they'll start doing that. And come summertime, when people are less distracted, they'll start trying to get people to sit in front of them on a public hearing. They'll start doing all that stuff. It's all theatrics, something like that.
And guess who's teaching them how to play that game though?
They've already known, but they definitely. I'm sure. What's her name? Cheney. I'm sure her and Kinzinger were like, "Look, guys, you guys are really bad at this."
Exactly.
Let me tell you how this is supposed to go.
That was my point. Yeah. Look, y'all don't know how to pull the trigger. Let me show y'all how to do this.
Y'all the only ones that show up with 3 aces and fold because you didn't have 4. That's the Democrats.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't do that because we're trying to do. No. You don't know who my daddy is. This is some real ground evil teachings.
Once again, I think people want to. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't accurate. I'm saying just as like a larger thing. One of the issues I have with us as an American culture, we want everything to be like a movie or a comic book. We're always looking for the mastermind in the shadows with the secret meeting and And sometimes people are just bad and they act in selfish ways. And then they realize there's no real consequences. So they play it to the hilt. But we still want to make everything into like a movie. And proof of that is in order to be president, you got to be the most popular person. You don't have to be the most qualified person. You just got to be popular with a wonderful story. I don't care about your story. I need you to do the job. Kinzinger won't run again because he knows he can't stomach being a Democrat. There's no hope for him as an independent, and there's no place for him as a Republican. So he bowed out.
Yeah.
That's it. Cheney has a family name.
I'm gonna throw this out there to you. And he's gonna try to make as much damage to the Republican Party he possibly can do before he walks out that door.
I hope so.
Now, he just seems like that person. Like you gonna throw me under the bus? Okay.
Because I'm not back.
He made that decision. I'm not gonna run again, so I'm gonna damage you as much as I possibly can before I walk out this door.
I would like to believe that, but I'm wondering because remember he was pretty active a couple months ago, but he's been radio silent for a while now. He hasn't been trying to find no cameras. He's not trying to make any big statements. He's not doing the rounds like he did at one point with the all the different networks. He's been pretty quiet. So I'm thinking he is already positioning himself either to go to K Street and be one of those what do people call? You know what I mean? The bookies that work in political circles. You know, but those connected people who move money around. I'm looking, he's either going to go do that or he's going to go back to private practice, which is what he did before.
Cheney does not want a new Republican Party. Cheney is very happy with how the old Republican Party was.
Yep. She wants her party back.
She wants her party back.
She wants McConnell's party. Yeah, that's what she wants.
She wants the old party. She don't want anything brand. She don't want to learn anything brand new. The old way was working just fine. I don't want to know the new rules and regulations.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Cheney version and the Cheney McConnell version of the Republican Party is nothing but the Biden corporate Democrat, because they're if you look at them on like a continuum, they're both right of center.
Mm-hmm.
They both have the same war stances. They both have the same corporate stances. The only thing that's really different is the Republicans are all about using religion and identity to keep people in line. And the Democrats are all about using poverty and programs to keep people in line. Other than that, they're the same people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to the last story of the day. Before we get to it, we're doing a pretty good time here. Okay.
Told you I was trying to do better.
Still not buying it. Still not buying it. So I'm going to see if I can put this story up real quick. Yeah. See what it looks like on our screen. There we go. In the House, Jeffrey Epstein brought 8 young women into the White House to meet Bill Clinton and pose at a podium. So what this is about is the first couple of years, during the ex-president's first 3 years in office, records show that the disgraced franchiser who killed themselves in 2019 visited the Washington, D.C. resident at least 17 times and posed for pictures at a briefing podium. Let me see. There was a part I really wanted to get. Okay, it's down here. According to records, Miss Manafort, now 48, went into the White House with Epstein twice on the same day, one at 2 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. on July 28, 1994. The visiting law did not disclose the nature of any of the visit, but Epstein showed up on 14 separate days during Clinton's first few years in office and even made 2 visits on a single day on 3 different occasions. Documents also show that the franchisor was invited by the Clinton senior advisors and aides, and he spent most of his visits in the West Wing. His first accompaniment visit in February 1993 appeared to be early 1993, but his first girlfriend he took there, according to record, was Maxwell on September 29th that year. And another of his accompaniments visit coordinates with a dinner in the Blue Room with many wealthy guests at which, according to the president's daily schedule, Clinton gave a lecture and a toast. On another visit on September 26, 1994, Epstein took both Miss Anderson and another woman to the White House, according to logs. My favorite part of the whole thing. There is no suggestion any women who accompanied Epstein to the White House was trafficking.
What? 28 years ago, this guy went to Burger King on a Saturday, and I can't be sure, but I think he ordered the Whopper. Sources say he may have had fries too. I'm sorry. The media is obsessed with the Clintons because people are obsessed with the Clintons. And they know by putting that story out there, they can link all this innuendo and sell some stuff. Get some clicks. That's the way I feel about it. You went back 28 years when you got plenty of stuff you can talk about right now.
The only reason I even brought this story up was that last part, which cracked me the hell up.
Yeah. We're going to make all these allegations, but
we're not making any allegations. We're not suggesting that anything was wrong.
No.
We're suggesting that he just likes to show up twice in a day at the White House with women. What's wrong with that?
My next thing will be like, did you check the records for any other person who showed up with a date or business partners? Did you check them? I want their names too. Give me all the names. Oh, and let me get the ages. And come on, bruh. Come on. Come on.
Oh my goodness. This is the funny thing about media these days. It's Tucker Carlson.
They know how to play us.
Throw out all of these analogies and all these things, but at the end, I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking the question. And even though I have been rich all my freaking life, ain't never worked a freaking day in my life with my bare hands, even though I never understood what poverty was on any way, shape, or form other than what I possibly read or made jokes with my friends at a party, I'm speaking for the American people when I say we're just asking questions. Now, I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of analogies, which I know is a bunch of BS because I know who my audience is, and they're going to eat this stuff up, and appreciate y'all making me rich for listening to this crap.
Excuse me.
But at the end, so I won't be sued, I'm just asking questions. Because as you know, we're the only source of information that you can go to for the truth. However, if you take us to court, you will realize we're not a news organization. Outside of the court, we're still your only trusted source for information. Even though it would never, ever for the past 20 years have showed you proof of absolutely anything that we have ever said. We're still looking for that flash drive with all the information on Hunter Biden's laptop, Tucker, but I guess it's a done deal. It's lost forever. Because in 2020, for some reason, people are still using flash drives to transfer information.
I got nothing.
Bring up Trump with Epstein's and trolls immediately say, what about Clinton? I shut him up by saying that Clinton is guilty. I want him in prison. And they say the same. No, they never would say the same thing. No. See, here's the funny thing about Trump supporters. for some reason, they really feel like because they have a Messiah, that means any person that we bring up on our end is our Messiah too. No. If we sit there and say that, well, what about Biden and the 1994 crime bill? Yeah, that was really terrible. That was an awful thing for him to do. I totally wholeheartedly think he's racist. Yeah, I believe it. Crickets. Because what you expected me to do was go, well, no, you don't understand. You never read the bill. You didn't understand what was going on during that. No. You have a Messiah. We have facts. The 1994 crime bill sucked rocks for the black community. Try to find me an avenue to try to defend it.
No, there's ways to talk about it, but it's still garbage.
Yeah.
Everything in America is done on brinksmanship. So there's zero legislation that has been passed in this country that wasn't a mess.
Thank you, Anna. You only contacted dude for one reason. So,
well, I mean, that's what we've been told.
Well, it sure as hell ain't for a dinner and a movie.
My only thing is, I don't know much about him other than he was a disgusting individual. But because of that, I'm not going to bake all of my decisions about everything. Because the man got rich doing stuff. He's probably connected to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's easy for me to dog that dude out, but he's dead now. He's gone. All these other monsters that we entertain and put up with, that's my problem.
And yet we figured he was still the lesser of the two evils.
Well, I mean, if you remember, Marlon, I brought this up before. For the people who say that they are people of faith, it's just so annoying to me that people will, because I mean, I'm not that big on redemption. I think people can evolve, but they don't necessarily change. But Biden was an overall decent politician, as a decent man, as far as his family life that we know of.
Mm.
And then you had the 94 crime bill. We had stuff before that, and then you had the 94 crime bill. So everything was based on what he was able to get out of the credit markets and his crony friends coming through the 70s or coming through the 80s. And the 94 crime bill, yeah, he was, we say that he was the author of that because I think he was the head of whatever committee that moved the legislation. That legislation turned out to be horrible for poor people and black people specifically. I don't know how many people remember the late 80s, early 90s, after the government conspired to put drugs in our communities, but not put opportunities in our communities and let it spin out so they can make money to fund their clandestine wars in other places. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't me making stuff up. This is what they did.
That's facts.
You know, but people don't want to have a complex thought or a layered thought. They want to say, well, Biden was a racist in the 90s, so he's a racist now. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I really am unconcerned because I've told y'all, I don't care if a person's racist. I care about what you do. So what has he done lately? There's some things that he's done lately that are problems too. You know, but I also know I'm functioning in this system. So what are our options? What are our options? We're going to sit here and continue to talk about how bad Biden was in 1994 when most of us were either teenagers or don't remember it too well? Or are we going to talk about the broken promise or half promise about the $1,400 check? Are we going to talk about him making these wonderful speeches to black people, but not putting any programs or processes in place. We're going to talk about him putting a black woman as the vice president and then immediately making it so she can't say or do anything. But the alternative is still.
I'm so glad you said that.
The alternative is
I'm
still.
so glad you said that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can spend all day tearing down, like, because the Democrats aren't my team, but there's only 2 teams in the Super Bowl, and I got to pick one. So here we are. I don't know. I don't get what people want from making it harder for less engaged people to vote for somebody. I don't get it. I don't get it.
And I'll just narrow it down to this. Everything that you said is absolutely 100% correct. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He ain't doing jack. We ain't keeping promises and everything else. Do you understand he still was the best alternative? Yeah. Do you understand how much you can dog this guy and then realize that he was still better than the alternative?
Not only that, but you're creating the future that you say you don't want. Like, people are literally creating the future that they say they don't want. You don't want Trump to be president. Okay, that's what you say. But everything that falls out of your mouth is how bad Biden is. So you going down this dude this whole way, this administration the whole way, when it's the only option that we have until we put forth serious effort to do some different things. But we only got those 2 choices. So people who are less engaged than me, I'll put it this way. I come out and I talk bad about the Democrats all day, every day, every day. And every once in a while I say, but the Republicans are worse. All day, every day. You know what I mean? And then I turn around and know that I still got to go in there and vote for the Democrat when the day comes. But along the way, there are people who are less informed than me who listen to me.
Keep fighting.
So now those people are going to be like, well, I'm not going to vote for him either. I've literally helped create the thing I say I don't want.
Anna, I got to give it to you. That was a bad analogy. If it's the 2 games, if 2 people played in the Super Bowl, I have skipped many of the Super Bowls not giving a rat's ass.
But I'm still going to use that same analogy. Then fine. You decide because I don't hardly ever watch Super Bowl, but I don't watch football. But fine. You decide not to watch it altogether. Cool. But that will not change the outcome of what's happening in the game. 0 impact. You can't even say that you helped build morale for the team that won, or help discourage or throw off the kicker. You can't even say that. You didn't even bother getting in the game.
It's always the same people who always sit there and say, I'm going to quit the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball or blah, 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 and I'm not going to come back. And I just want to look at them and go, 1, you're like 5 people. Nobody cares. 2, nobody's going to know if you're lying or not. Nobody's going to know this. You could probably be typing this. You could probably be tweeting this right now as you're watching the game.
Absolutely. So you could be talking all that big money about Democrats or the Republicans and then wander your butt up in there and pull the lever for the Democrats or the Republicans.
That was my point.
Your friend, that person that seems to be so much in your corner. You know, that's terrible what happened with Mike Brown. That's terrible what happened with George Floyd. That's terrible what's happening with our prison system. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. Trump. So.
And that's the funny thing about it is, y'all, we got to stop living in an either or. Both things can be true at the exact same time. We can talk smack about Biden. Well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
He deserved everything we have said. We haven't pushed the envelope. We haven't made things up. We haven't blown it out of proportion and everything else. We give you facts on this show. At the same time, the alternative was god awful.
Yeah.
He was absolutely, it happens at the exact same time.
I guess what I'm sloppily trying to get at, though, is the scope of how we come at it. You know, because we are on the left, we speak more about Biden because that's the team that we need to do better with. You know, but it gets so, it's like we talk as bad about them as we would be talking about the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't include your rationale as to how you view your vote, I just feel like you're not doing a service to the people who are possibly hanging on your words. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The Democrats didn't give you everything that you wanted. The Republicans are guaranteed to take everything that you have. That's just the bottom line to it. If somehow they take over the House and the Senate again, the only thing you actually, I'm going to send a message to the Democrats. No, you're just going to make great news for the next 2 years. You're going to make fabulous news pieces. You're going to come on here. You're going to cry, moan, and groan and gripe and everything else about the Republicans doing without actually telling everybody that you're the reason why they're in there to begin with. Because you wanted to send a message to the Democrats. You just made up a whole bunch of news pieces for the next 2 years.
Well, here's
and the only thing I could possibly do for you is to nod my head and go,
Yeah. But like, my thing is like, what do you want? Right. So, like, I'll tell you what I want so that I'm not making it all about everybody else. The way I view the Democratic Party is a defensive measure. I think of the Democratic Party as a dam. And they're holding back the flood and destruction of the Republican Party. But they can't stop the pressure. The pressure's still building, it's still coming, and they're not doing anything upstream to release the load. That's how I view the Democratic Party. So I look at it as I need to keep the dam up while I work on my exit strategy for how I get my people out the valley. Ultimately, I want to leave both parties behind. Ultimately, I want to leave the country behind. But that's a long-term thing. In the meantime, what do we have to do to keep the dam from breaking? And that's a really jacked up position to be in. And I'm wrestling with it myself as we speak.
I just listen to your ideas. Because I know what I got to do. I just got to we have to find a better way of messaging it. Other than saying, for the love of God, please do not vote.
Yeah, people need more than...
Or do not use your emotion on every decision that you make.
Yeah, because people need more than, and that's what I always consistently hear. They're tired of hearing, you got to vote, you got to vote. They're tired of hearing that. So the problem I'm hearing is the messaging is screwed up. And there's also the effort is missing. I long hold to the opinion that if you want more people to vote, you need to give people a reason to vote. Now, the reasons exist, but if they're not political people, they may not be aware. So you need to help people identify their personal why, and then you'll get more voters. And they'll act regardless of what Biden or whatever, whoever, right? They'll be voting their interests. But the Democrats are relying only on messaging. They don't put nothing behind it. And people are tired of being played with.
Well, the first message that I actually do want to put in there is if you have any other reason to not vote Democrat, by all means use it. I'm just a messenger. I just give facts. Just don't use the analogy. They don't do anything for us.
Right. It's a lazy.
Yeah, they have. They have done something for us. They literally have done something for it. Have they done everything that they say they were supposed to do? Absolutely not. But you cannot sit there with a straight face and say they have not done nothing. That's all I got to say about that.
I don't quite agree.
I had to think about that one. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But anyway, we're at the end of our first hour. Didn't think we was gonna make it. We just flowing through so peacefully. While you're on here, please do not forget to hit that like button. I have been flashing it across the bottom this whole show. If you like the content so far and you like to be notified, notified. If you like our content, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Will it work? Probably not, but hit it anyway, just in case. And we will be back in a few minutes with Foxy's videos of the week. So stay tuned. If I can find the music.
Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome back to the second hour of Radical Truth to Power. So all the serious stuff is out of the way. I don't think I actually have a serious video. I have one that's probably going to make Theus roll his eyes. Let me see. Just want to make sure here.
But on a side note, did you see the Saturday Night Live joint from last night with the Urkel thing?
You sent me the video of it. I'm gonna watch it later on tonight. But no, I couldn't tell you how many years have gone by that I've seen a Saturday Night Live anything.
Yeah, I usually watch it on YouTube. I watch pieces, like the Urkel one from this weekend and the one with Eric Adams. Those are actually pretty good.
Susan, did I give you the name of the song? That was the one I thought I'd send it to you. If not, just let me know. I'll try to look it up again. Oh, thank you.
That's nice.
Thank you. Oh, Susan. Go on, Susan. We're just humble black men in America trying to spread something.
And it will definitely help with the getting your eyes teary. Just don't look directly at me. It'll help. Promise.
Well, we're going to start off real quick with Tracy Carson of Tracy Carson Media. We're going to start off with her boyfriend.
You talk about evidence. We had enough evidence to put everybody in prison for life, 300 and some million people. We had that all the way back to November, December. But what we have are these other things that had to happen, which was all evil revealing itself. I mean, evil's popping up like pocket gophers. I mean, they pop their heads up. It's whack-a-mole, right?
This is Trump's buddy and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell promising that he'll imprison 300 million Americans. Now, there are 330 million Americans in the entire country, meaning that basically everyone over 7 years old is getting locked up. So if you're watching this, plan accordingly, because chances are we're all going to prison.
This is a natural state of affairs, because instead of caring for those among us with mental and emotional issues, we just throw money at them and watch them, burn out and crash. That's what's happening.
Do you think at this point they do this for ish and giggles now?
I think he's literally in some form of mental or emotional crisis.
No. I mean the people who constantly keep putting them on TV.
Well, they do it because it's just fun to watch people spin out.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
People find enjoyment in others' pain. You got to do nothing but look at the entertainment that we have: reality TV, the type of music stuff we're doing, all the different TikTok videos, and just look at our entertainment. It's all about someone else crumbling under pressure.
Oh well.
And that dude he done already cracked. Then that would definitely help. That would.
That would. Yep, Tracy, that's your choices. Mike Lindell or Jim Clyburn.
That's rough.
Those are your choices.
Hey, Clyburn's married, I think.
Who cares?
I think that's a valid point, but I actually fall on the different end, where I think we need to draw back on the emotion. I think emotion is messing things up.
I think it depends on the circumstance.
I believe go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, your brain is what's supposed to help you make decisions. Your heart is supposed to temper those decisions. It's a filter. Shouldn't be your thinking instrument. And the problem that I feel anyway is people are so into, well, you don't know what's in his heart. You don't know. And we have to find our felt whatever, all the F's. You know what I'm saying? It's just, no, everyone's right. No one's wrong. Maybe we're misunderstanding each other, but no one's actually wrong. We're all just misunderstood. No, sometimes you just dead ass wrong. And we need to accept that and adjust and let's move forward.
I told you the reason why I got out off of mainstream Facebook and just decided to make my own page and say what I wanted to say was, we all need to come together as a nation. We all need to heal together. We all need to forgive and forget. Of course you want to do that now that your boy ain't in office anymore.
Well, I mean, you hear that mostly on the left. You hear that more on the left than you do on the right. That whole, we're all human, we're all one big family. You know what? Maybe. But so long as some of my cousins are still trying to cause me harm so that they can have something better for themselves, y'all can miss me with the one family thing.
You could just miss me all together. You really can.
Yeah, people need to fix themselves, fix their household, fix their family. Just do that. Stop there. Because if everybody's doing that, you have now started to fix your community, fix your city. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But instead, we want to fix each other, but not ourselves.
I don't know.
Oh, did he really do that? Did he accept the calling at the prayer breakfast?
Oh, he said that he was a religious person, that every decision he make and blah, blah, blah.
I can't with the daycare girl.
We need to. I don't mean majority at this point does.
And unfortunately, the way we are right now, the kids are more mature than the adults. But you know.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said. We need to come back together as a nation, and we need to heal. We have never been a kumbaya nation. What time frame are you trying to pick out that you thought this whole nation was always together? You can't even say this nation was one big great nation during World War II. We was closer.
No, we were still.
But there was a certain type of people who was still getting screwed over.
Yeah, it's like for real though. This is so hilarious to me in a way, where now that there's much more talk from people like me along the lines of we need to separate. And once again, I'm not talking about physical separation, because we're all kind of tied to this country, and individuals may leave, but we're all tied to this thing. So physical separation is impractical for the most part, but emotional, social, cultural separation, I'm a hardcore advocate for that, because we as in the Black community, have spent the entirety of the time that we've been here begging, pleading, dying to be accepted as Americans. It hasn't happened. So are we supposed to believe that we're somehow on the cusp of that changing? I don't think so. So screw it. You reject me and I reject you too. Let's work on the things that we choose to work on together, but let's not pretend like everything's hunky-dory, okay?
But you forget the fundamental thing, Theus. They see us now.
And they get offended when we say we don't want to be seen. I'm serious, man. It's funny. Like you look at when Marcus Garvey came over from Jamaica and built the largest African American organization this country had ever known. And all they were saying, for the most, well, not all, they're saying a lot of things, but one of the major things they were saying, Just let us go. Right? You did slavery. We're in Jim Crow. You don't want us here. Well, we don't want to be here anymore either. You paid to get us here, pay to get us out. Just put us on our boats and send us away. We'll leave. We will leave. And America didn't want to let us leave. America has never wanted to let us leave. It's always wanted us to stay here and suffer peacefully. Pray for your enemies who use you despitefully, or whatever the term is. They want you here, but they don't want you here.
A slight adjustment on what you're saying. I do believe they want us to leave.
I don't.
I just think they want us to leave on our own dime.
I don't think they want us to do that either. Because back with Marcus Garvey, I know this is a different era, right? Where it's 100 years now. But Marcus Garvey built a ship line and was like, well, we'll get on our own boat. Since you don't want to help us, we'll get on our own boat and go. And America went and got, what was that dude's name? He's a Kappa. Dubois. Got him to help subvert the organization and get Garvey caught up and break down his organization so nobody could leave. America really does not want us to leave. Think about the servicing, think about the roles that we serve. They make money off of us in prison. They make money off of us sending us to prison. They make money off of us in the service area professions. They make money off of us in the government roles. Because that's where we are. And all those things I named are where we are. They don't want to let enough Latinos in to subjugate and treat like trash. So unless they're able to switch one for one, they're not trying to let us go. Because capitalism requires a bottom class. It can't function without a bottom class. It has to have a bottom class. And right now we serve that purpose. There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
They'll try to get the Latinos to do it, but they'd have to let more in.
God bless. Let's move on.
Land that we stole.
Let us shoot us and kill you.
As we pray to the good Lord above.
Lord above. We do need to sit down and come up with our own, the real true American anthem.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
All right, next video. Who wins?
2020 and 2021. It was a close race, but the title of worst year ever goes to... Don't forget about me! Who are you? I'm 1945. I dropped the atomic bombs on Japan. Right, okay, well, I'm sure we'll consider... And me? And you are? 1346. I created the Black Plague that killed nearly 200 million people. Fine, okay, let's... And don't be forgetting old 66 million BC! My God, what did you do? Hello? Asteroid? Wiped out almost all of life on Earth? Yeah, that is bad. Hey, sorry, am I late? Oh, who the hell are you? 2022. And why are you here? Oh, you'll see.
Yeah, could have invited a few more people in that room, but yeah. Yep. But that's where I always say to people who tell me we're in the last days, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I'm just saying it's kind of arrogant to say that we are, because it's been pretty jacked up a few times in the past. It's been pretty bad. So
you know what? I don't even want to hear that. We're in the last days, dude. We've been in the last day, the last century.
We've been in the last days since the first day after Jesus was killed. Like
whatever. And by the way, at this point, if you actually try to scare me by saying we're in our last days, you may want to start looking at what you've been doing lately, then, bro.
Oh no, we ain't gonna do that because we got to get rid of all the bad people. You know, that's the funny. Never mind. But I did say this. I think I said this to my father once. He's very religious. And it wasn't a question to him, but it was about the faith. Because I'm like, if heaven is better than here, and Christians really look for, and Muslims really look forward to the last day, why are you so afraid of dying? Why you want to stop what we doing to try to keep the earth alive? Why are you trying to speed this thing up? You ain't got to speed it up for the rest of us. You go on ahead.
My deal has always
Go.
been this was, I read a couple of the books Left Behind.
You're like the right-wing fever swamp of the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only thing I came away with from they took their people, God took his people
The rapture.
away. The rapture. Only thing I still keep popping in my head, and I don't even know why, was the plane falling out of the ground, out of the air.
Because the pilot went.
Yeah, I get it. This just was just like, wow, this is really effed up. I get the point. I understand exactly what you're doing, but when I read the story, I'm just still reading like,
oh, don't try to
really
reconcile.
This is really terrible. This is awful.
No, what's even more awful, bro, is like the rapture is supposed to be like the first string.
Yeah.
Like that's the first group, the ones who did everything quote unquote right, or they did it right enough, right? And they get to go first. But then there's the left behinds,
Yep.
who have to deal with Satan's reign for however long.
Yep.
And where they're just like, it's just blood sport all over the place. And then if you happen to make it through that and still be a good person, then you get to go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the rapture took all the people to heaven. That's what I said was effed up part. When I say he took them to heaven, I don't mean you had to die. I mean it was like you're here and you're not. So one minute you're driving a car, next minute nobody's driving the car.
but see, that doesn't even make sense.
I'm going by the book. What that was the whole thing. The premise was you was here, you did so well, you did so wonderful, you did God's work, blah blah blah. So we're taking you now at whatever you're doing at the time.
Right.
And whatever you're driving
Eating
a car,
a sandwich, whatever.
You ain't whatever. The Antichrist. I'm sorry, I'm just going by the book, folks. This is why I said it was kind of effed up.
Bro, I
kept
grew
reading
up in this stuff.
The
so
Antichrist gained power because of this situation. Because in the book, he was a nobody. I mean, he had some.
But he was charismatic and he
status.
was
I don't mean nobody, like he was a truck driver and all of a sudden, boom. But he had some political background. But he spoke so eloquently at the UN that people could not help but follow him.
But see, here's the funniest thing about all of this. You have that series, which you have to grant some creative license to, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they were using their faith background, and then they add some alliteration and extra stuff in there.
I didn't even tell you about the new religion, but go ahead.
But that also, if you really get to talking to a lot of people of the faith, they aren't even aware that when they're talking to you about hell and what is in hell and all of that, they're quoting Dante's Inferno. They're not quoting the Bible because the Bible doesn't go into all of that. So everything is so jumbled together that it's hard to pull it apart, and you don't even know where to get it. Like I literally was this morning watching this thing where the guy was, what was it? He speaks scientifically about everything, scientific method and all this stuff. So it was creation versus evolution. That's what it was. And if you don't know science and all you do is hear a conservative right-wing creationist talk to you, you won't pick up some of the stuff that they're putting down. It'll actually sound like it makes some sense. It's only if you have studied or learned something that you'll be like, wait, whoa, no.
You got to realize that some people go to. First of all, I'll give you a hint on if you know that you're going down the wrong path. You're going to ignore me because you're already there, but I'm going to say it in a way. I always like to speak as if somebody brand new that's really trying to speak the truth. At least that's my delusion. So I'm just going to flow with it until the day I leave this planet. If you're picking a church on the determination that you already have an answer to what you want, what you want your lifestyle to be, what you want your religious leader to be, what you want your justification for being who you are. If you're picking your church and your religious leaders off of you already know the answer, now you're just trying to find somebody to justify it, strengthen
You're trying
it.
to find a church that fits you
yeah. You're going down the wrong path. If you can't,
perhaps.
Well, here's my deal, and I'll make it a little more blunt. If you're more willing to go to a church that justify your bigotry, your hatred, your racism, your homophobic, and everything else, compared to if you go to a church where they say there is nothing in the Bible that tells you that you need to be doing things like this. So if you're going to say that you are a Christian, you need to be following the scripture instead of what your beliefs is. And you still decide to go to the preacher that says everything that you're feeling is absolutely correct. And I'm going to find this one clip in the Bible, twist it, and say it back to you.
Yeah, confirmation
so you could
bias,
go out skipping like joy that the fact that you was absolutely right all along.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's the weirdest thing because I wouldn't have the understandings that I do have were it not for the fact that I did grow up in it. The thing was, though, I was always raised from knee high to question and challenge everything. I don't accept anything just as is, which ultimately meant that eventually there was going to be a head-on collision with my belief system. But that's whatever. But
Hold
yeah,
on,
I think.
Hold on for a second. Anna, are you losing connection? Because I'm good. Ever since I started hardwiring into the computer, I haven't not had any more issues. Give me a second to work for the mafia. Oh, I don't even know why I did that. I was right there. Yeah, we're coming in clear. Theus?
I haven't had any issues, but I'm not trying to stream it, so I don't know.
Yep. So I don't know what's going on, Susan, but it's not on our end. We're coming in pretty clear. Yeah, Mickey says no problem on her end. I have a long list of written down memes to give to make almost no live shows tomorrow, so I tend. Oh wow!
I wish I could play tomorrow. I got to actually talk to people that I don't want to talk to.
You work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good gracious. Hmm.
Yep. 11 hours of probably a whole lot of people who bought cars and need to change stuff.
Hey, did y'all get snow?
Yeah, we got plenty of, well, I call it plenty of snow.
Yeah, we got plenty. And I got tomorrow off, and I don't know about Tuesday. Because the high tomorrow is, it said 40, which I went, okay, maybe I'll get a chance. And then it keeps updating like every 30 seconds. So.
Yeah. No, I work tomorrow. I work from home, so there's no calling out. Unless a power line does something crazy, which I don't want to have happen because then I lose my heat. So
yep.
I'll be at work.
It is 29 degrees right now. The high tomorrow is 37. The high Tuesday is 42. Yeah, okay.
We'll be back to normal after tomorrow, so that's not a problem.
Well, not really. Thursday is a 30% chance of snow.
You know, that's cool. I live in Georgia, so February is the one bad month. Happens every year, so.
It may be the weather, Anna.
Yeah, but y'all be safe out there.
Yeah, I may have to get out there and start shoveling just in case I do wind up going. I don't want to. But
I ain't going nowhere. Kids are out of school. I got enough food to get me through at least another 3 days. I'm good.
I get very little slow juice from here, but we get UFR temps. Things have been well below zeros and days barely out of the teens.
Yeah, I can't function.
Nope. Not at all. All right, so the next video is the one that I said is probably going to make Thea's roll his eyes. And it's real short, so I'm not going to take us down, but I just thought it was funny as crap.
To have your mind blown. Nacho cheese. The ingredient in nacho cheese to make the cheese sauce smooth is sodium citrate. It has in it sodium, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Sodium, Na, carbon C, hydrogen H, oxygen O, NaCHO, nacho.
Okay. You know how that happened. I know exactly how it happened. She had to go to the bathroom, and she was in the process of making some nachos. So she had the jar. She hadn't opened it yet because she ain't nasty, but she had the jar, and she had to run to the restroom, and she forgot her cell phone. So now she doesn't have anything else to do but read the label on the jar. And that's how she came to this mind-blowing realization.
So she literally just couldn't just be bored cooking nachos like other people do and decide just to read the back of it?
No. I think my story is much more plausible.
Yeah, of course it is. How much more time I got with him? Crap.
Hey, man, you know, it's your party, bro. We can shut it down whenever you're ready to shut it down, partner. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
5 more minutes.
I go to sleep.
Can't make a hydrogen bomb. But you can't, or you can.
No, she said, but can't you make a hydrogen bomb? Yeah, I don't think. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
People can make all kinds of stuff, though. I mean, if they can blow up a building with horse poop. You know, they can do stuff.
If you scientific enough and you evil enough, I'm pretty sure you can come up with just about anything that you want to come up with.
Why you got to be evil, dog?
You're evil. If your whole mentality is to go through life making other people miserable, that's evil. If that's your whole existence for waking up, is to make other people miserable.
Or you view things in a duality of life. So you're saying, because you know what the thing about humans, we find a way to live longer and kill faster. Right? It's like the eternal struggle. How do I live longer and how do I kill other people faster?
Mm-hmm.
But they can rationalize, you can rationalize almost anything. So it's not that they're being evil in some cases. It's just that they want to save this group or this nation or this whatever. So it's to stop the other side from harming their side. So they have to find a way to stop them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That
doesn't make you evil, though.
People miserable.
Doesn't make you evil, though.
It makes
like,
you evil.
To me, Thanos was a hero in the story. But he was an imperfect hero. He had some issues.
There was a lot of flaws in his logic.
There were, but his intentions were right.
No, his intentions suck rocks.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because here is his logic. We have very little resources, so what I'm going to do is cut the whole universe population in half.
Randomly.
Or
randomly.
You can double the resources of the whole universe if you have the power to do that.
No, that creates a whole different issue.
Oh, and snapping 50% wasn't going to cause an issue?
It'll cause an issue, but it's an issue that humanity and creation has already found a way to recover from. We don't know what happens if you all of a sudden double the universe or double the resources on a particular planet that has already been built for a certain amount of resources. So now you overwhelm the system.
I didn't say double the people, just the resources.
Where are you going to store
literally gone to
lands
who was barren and wasteful and changed the landscape so they can make their own food.
Which then creates more war. So then they end up killing each other because they want supremacy over this expanded resource. Because it's new to them.
Because when you snap half of the universe away, we was at peace.
We will be a lot more at peace now.
Unfortunately, since it was random, that was a flawed logic.
Well, it had to be random because if it wasn't random, then he's picking winners and losers, which creates a whole nother set of errors that you don't want to enter into the system.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing that one of the 50% of the universe wasn't Thanos.
Just happened to shake out that way. Could have been him.
Sure did.
But the person who wrote the script didn't want it to go that way. But no, it's not a perfect system. None of it's a perfect system. None of it.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if you should be Googling the anarchist cookbook. Isn't that like something that gets you in trouble?
Yeah, apparently not, since it's still online.
It's like going online and Googling Mein Kampf or something like that. Don't do it. There's certain things that you're just not supposed to look for. I could be wrong about this particular thing, but I just feel like it's something.
You know the funny thing about it, Tracy? I always thought when they always come up with the worst villain ever in comic book, I always put Lex number one. I put Lex over the Joker.
Wait, Lex Luthor is the one who was against Superman, right?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I didn't like him. I didn't like Superman either. But I didn't like
I can hit or miss on Superman. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I always put him first over the Joker. I get the fact that the Joker
No, because the
has
Joker had a righteous point to what he was doing.
No, Joker was a nut.
He had a righteous point.
What righteous point he had?
He had to get. He was trying to show humanity for what it was and to stop playing make believe and pretending that things aren't what they really are. I'm going to unmask you so that you have to walk through life exactly as who you are. Batman, you're not out here trying to save the city. You're out here trying to deal with your hurt issues. I'm going to show you that all the stuff that you've built as this make-believe world for yourself is really just a self-soothing, self-medicating facade. You're no better than me. You're no worse than me. But that's only because you have yet to realize we're on the same place. So the Joker, he was literally Batman's alter ego.
Okay, I'll give you my argument for Lex Luthor. And I'll take it from the comic book / animation All-Star Superman. And the whole premise was Superman was dying and everything and blah, blah, blah. And of course he was dying because of something that Lex did. And Lex found the ability at the last second to steal Superman's powers. All of it, including his brain. And Lex was acting a fool and everything, and all of a sudden he just stopped. And he looked around and he was like, this is totally amazing. This is fantastic. I can see everything. I can see the world on a subatomic level. All the pain and all the problems that we have in this world can be solved so simply. And he looked at Superman and said, did you have all this knowledge? And he said, yes. And at that point, Superman was just messing with him, trying to get his powers back. And he did. And he got his powers back. And he said, you don't understand. You took your powers away from me. I could have saved humanity. I could have saved everything. I could have healed everybody. And Superman said, you don't understand that you had the ability to do that a long time ago. You just chose not to.
Which is the Joker's point.
You just chose to be greedy, to get as much money as you possibly can, and to be a god among the people. And you are just threatened by me because I have godlike powers, but never used it the way you would.
And yet, at the same time, Superman has just exposed himself as a penis head because he is admitting he could have done better too. But he didn't feel like it was his role because people could do better for themselves if they would just apply themselves. But that doesn't stop him.
You know what, to be honest with you, I totally agree with Superman on that one. I totally agree on that. Because I have gotten to the point where we always want to sit there and look at a symbol of hope and justice so you can actually get better in your life to sustain it. Not, oh my God, Superman's going to solve all our problems, so I'm going to waste any situation that you gave me anyway, because I know Superman is going to come and solve it again and again and again.
But only in Metropolis.
Be real about it. Humanity always had the ability to solve their problems, but it depends on what your end goal was, and if it's profit, you ain't saving jack squat.
There you go. So now you get back into Christian mythology, and that's very well exactly what Jesus tried to convey as he was leaving. Yes, you're looking at me with the powers that are imbued in me because I am a direct, attachment to God. But greater things than these will you be able to do in my Father's name. He's telling you that you can stop hunger. You can stop war. You can, you can do these things. You can heal the sick. You don't need magic. You have power. But we rather worship the creation more than the creator. So we are more obsessed with money versus what money actually represents.
And Mickey, to answer your question of why he doesn't go around and get rid of dictators and end wars and everything else, is because then that in and of itself would make him a dictator. Because
so instead, he just lets everybody else die.
Okay, or you're gonna give it, or you gonna give the decision making thing to a god.
No, I agree because I watched.
He decides who lives, who dies, who fights wars, who don't,
But doesn't
who
he
is
do
right,
that still?
who is in the wrong.
He still does that.
How
Him trying not to is still him doing it. Like there was a movie, it was a series that was on Netflix. It was really good, where they all got like superpowers or whatever. But no, by trying not to be, you end up being. Because what did Superman end up doing? He allowed everything to circle around the one woman who was giving him some cookie. How many people died in those buildings that were collapsing each time he saved her? How many?
Are you going by that Superman movie?
Superman stories.
I hated the movie.
It doesn't matter where you look at it. Everything's surrounded around his love for Lois Lane. And he didn't want to like be all front and center about his powers because then he would actually become a crutch. And then as you become a crutch, eventually you start to, who knows, maybe you become cynical or whatever. But now you start trying to control things. And then you end up being the God among these people. And you've actually created yourself to be the problem that no one can solve. Right. So I get all of that.
They have the injustice. So now, let me explain this one. I know it's an alternate universe because that's the way comic books is. They throw stuff out there, and if it don't work, they always promise you it's on another world, and this ain't. What's the word? This is not canon. But the Injustice Society was exactly everything. Just a bad Superman.
Oh.
But here's the deal. The only reason he was a bad Superman because the Joker tricked him into killing Lois Lane. And because the Joker tricked him into killing Lois Lane, he lost his mind and decided that the world is exactly what you said. I'm going to solve all the world's problems no matter what. Every law that's written on the books is going to be down to a T.
Yeah, well, now you got, I mean, it's all make believe, I know, but it's all replicated in so many things. It's how we deal with the machines, the rise of the machines, where eventually, in order to perfect the code to protect humanity, you must protect humanity from humanity. So now you must remove humanity from the equation. You got Judge Dredd. We got to make sure that the law is obeyed 100%, because if everybody's in full compliance of the law, then no one's outside of the law, so no one's in danger of being harmed. So we do overkill on that. But it's all built off of the human condition. There is no solving the human condition short of getting rid of all of humanity.
All comic books, or should be, or if for a while it was, I have no idea. Unless it's something like Spectacular or something like that, I don't pay attention. I'll give you an example, and I'll say it to you since you like Thanos. The Eternal
of the movie, he wasn't all bad. That's all I'm saying.
Suck rocks. The Eternal movie.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't watch it, and I don't want to watch it.
I heard it was pretty bad.
Well, that too, but just the logic of it turned me off, because you were supposed to be the protectors of the earth. That was literally your job. You was put on this earth to be the protectors of the earth. I ain't seen you with the attack on New York in Avengers 1. Where the hell was you then? Thanos was a really big deal. Didn't see you then. Now that everybody is back, now you feel like, well, now I feel like the earth is in danger, so we need to come out. I'm doing a Tracy. Shut up.
Makes sense to me.
For what? What do we need you for?
Because that's what people do. You think just because people have superpowers, they're not going to be selfish and self-interested and egomaniacs? Come on.
They weren't supposed to be people. They were supposed to be the protectors.
Still people. Police are supposed to be protectors.
Who?
Got a few problems out there, you know. Humanity is its own problem.
Yeah, all of that is true. He fought Hitler, he teamed up with MLK, and Muhammad Ali knocked him out.
That's a stupid storyline.
All right.
That's why growing up I read Heathcliff comic books. I didn't read Stan Lee comics. So I don't know that stuff.
I literally cannot see what this next video is. I don't know if this is about Drake or not. But hey, let's go for it. Mystery video.
So in today's episode of You Can't Make This Shit Up, we have this story. And I'm sure that person meant to say reportedly in this. So what allegedly happened was Drake met up with an Instagram model, proceeds to take her back to his hotel, does the deed with her, and of course he's strapped up. So he then goes to the bathroom, takes off said strap, and pours hot sauce in it. Then said Instagram model goes to the bathroom, retrieves the contraceptive, and begins to try to inseminate herself artificially, to where she is met with the appropriate response due to what was inside of it. And now this chick is suing Drake. Couple things here. Why is Drake walking around with hot sauce and does not have a hot sauce endorsement? Second, how did she get to sue him when she was straight up trying to Billie Jean this dude? I can dance like Michael Jackson. This brings a new meaning to the term hotbox. And Frank's, I put that on everything.
Whole story stupid. And maybe he wants to run for president. So he keeps hot sauce in his pocket.
I'm on so many levels on this story. I'm on the level of how foul are you that you would go out of your way to go and try to inseminate yourself knowing that this was not how it actually happened. I'm also on the verge of saying, dude, how many times have you put yourself in a situation where you knew to do that?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be in much of anything. It's just, one, you're a famous person, so you know the baby catchers are out there. But, I mean, broke dudes, just regular dudes know that you don't discard of it where anyone can get to it anyway. I mean, that's something we learned, at least something I learned as a kid. That's true. He can't run for president. But yeah, so yeah, it's just one. I don't have any compassion for her because she was trying to be a baby catcher, and two, I don't care if he put hot sauce, soy sauce, whatever. It don't matter.
Did you not see red? Is there clear hot sauce?
Might have been a red condom. Or she didn't pay attention. Or who knows? I don't know. I don't even know how true the story is. It's something that's just been circulating around. So I don't know. She got what she got what she came for.
And now she's suing.
And that's her fault.
I would love to be.
She might still win something.
She ain't winning jack.
Hey, I'm just saying she might
She
still
ain't win because the first thing out of my mouth is what exactly happened? Display the whole story of your trauma. Just that alone.
Well, he could have just flushed it. He didn't have to
case
put,
about it.
well,
Just
he didn't have to do something he
explain
knew would
your
hurt somebody.
trauma.
No, that's not the point. The point in America is not about that. The point in America is just saying, well, were your actions a reasonable course to take for the concerns that you had? You chose to put hot sauce in there. So let's say that the person did take the condom and they did try to inseminate themselves. What were you hoping to be the outcome by putting hot sauce into the condom? Oh, so that was malicious intent? Well, she was being malicious but trying to set me up. Understood. And that doesn't make it right. But we're talking about you today, Mr. Drake. Come on. Like, we don't know how this stuff plays out. Come on.
Please. I could literally just sit there and just in 2 words just go, nothing of this would have happened if you ain't tried to inseminate yourself.
This is true.
Period.
That's not how our legal system works, but this is true. You're right.
Again, I'm putting it in the category, it ain't my money. So, whatever. For the life of me, I cannot remember what this last video is about. I did not name these videos because I have tomorrow off and I didn't care enough to do so. So, not a mystery video.
Babe, I have a question.
Yeah.
If I committed a crime and I had to go to jail for 25 years, would you go for me instead?
Hell no.
Why?
Why the hell would I go to jail for you?
Why not?
If you do the crime, you doing the time.
But you're my husband. You're supposed to go to jail for me.
Says who?
You're supposed to die for me.
Says who?
Everyone?
Oh, I ain't doing that. You know how many big people are in jail?
I would go to jail for you.
Okay. It seems like a you problem.
Gospel truth.
I like them. I like them.
I ain't going to jail for you. Come on, please.
That actually was a silly question.
I mean, I've heard people ask a similar type of question, but I'll tell people in a minute. Look, I will fight for you. I will never fight over you. And I'm definitely not about to go to jail. Find something you did. Like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. So I ain't had nothing to do with this. No, I ain't going. Now, we both committed the crime. I might take that charge so that you can go home to the kids. But nah, you went out there and did something on your only, you gonna serve it on your only.
Pretty much. I didn't. Why in the world?
Perfect quote.
Yeah. Why in the world do you think? And let me put a caveat on it. And what is it to stop you from committing a crime, knowing that somebody else is going to do the time for you?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying all women do this because they certainly do not.
No,
they certainly do not.
This is not absolute.
But some women literally do that. I mean, you saw the video where the lady was getting all in that dude's face and then reached out and grabbed him by the head, so he knocked the man out.
Yeah.
She only did that because society says you won't react that way towards me because I'm a woman. And there's also the thing about being a protector. You heard her in the video. Well, you're supposed to protect me, right? So there is a sense of these role dualities that have been completely distorted by some people.
Well, because you have to remember back in the good old days, the alpha male's role was to protect the weaker sex.
It's still our role to protect your woman and anyone. Okay, this is me. If you are a woman in my presence, you are under my protection. I'm sorry if that's offensive to any of you. But if you are in my presence, I am responsible for your safety until such time as you are no longer in my presence. I still believe that. You commit a crime is different. Like, self-inflicted injury ain't my problem.
I say this. If I was dating and I know that you're the one who's causing a argument, that I've been on this planet long enough to know that it's going to get physical if this dialogue continue. There's a part of me that's going to sit here and pull you out of the situation. That is about as far as my protection go.
Well, that's part of being a protector.
Okay.
You're trying to minimize
Also,
or eliminate
having
the threat.
said that, we are absolutely completely done.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to stay on the job because you're now a danger to me.
Yep.
But at that moment, though,
I'll handle the situation at that moment because I'm just going to make sure there's not another situation.
I guess I feel you, but I don't know. I can see being caught up in a situation that quickly gets out of control because, one, I hope anyone has better selection criteria because when someone's kind of a loose cannon. Okay. But let's say that they got drunk, right? So this is the first time you've seen them get drunk. So they're kind of acting out. Well, remove them from the situation. And then you in the relationship or situationship or whatever it may be, if that's what you need to do. But I'm sorry, I guess I don't know, maybe it's just old dinosaur logic, but I can't in good faith be present while a woman is being assaulted or harmed just because I didn't create the problem. And that could really cause me problems. That could get me hurt or worse. But it's still how I feel. Like I'm not going to stand there while some dude, assaults or hits or strikes a woman and not do anything because, well, something might go wrong. I'm gonna try to diffuse the situation as best I can, have law enforcement come and handle the real stuff if need be. But I can't just be like, not my problem. I don't know.
Yeah, those are I feel you. I got cussed out for the same reason. Literally, we got cussed out because somebody snatched a purse from a woman walking in the parking lot. I chased after him.
I ain't doing that.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I chased after him. He jumped in the car and closed the door and locked it out. How the heck he do that in 0.0 seconds? I have absolutely no idea. And sped off.
I ain't chasing you. You trying to get away. You can go. Bye. My concern is her physical safety. That's it. Shorty, you're going to have to get you some new credit cards. I mean,
I was young and dumb. Yeah.
I know, I get it. When I was young, I remember, now for me, this is like way back. This is like middle school. But this girl and her boyfriend, and he hit her. And I jumped in and got to beating him up. And so now I'm fighting this dude because he hit this girl. And then a couple of days later, they're back together. So that right there told me I'm not going to insert myself but so far into a situation. My job ain't to get in here and try to beat this dude up. My job is to try to stop this moment. And if that means I have to use force to do it, then so be it. But only do what's necessary to stop the threat. Distract it, break it up, whatever. Let law enforcement or somebody deal with it. That's their job, not mine. But I ain't chasing nobody.
Yeah. Like I said,
because if you chase me, I might be dead wrong. Chase me, moment I can get a chance, I might put a hot one on you. So it's like, I ain't chasing nobody. Because you try to do the right thing and now you got a hole in your chest. It's just not.
I was just trying to be the hero.
I understand. I've done it myself.
Never do that again. Good gracious, I got cussed out by my wife, by my mama.
I bet.
Ooh.
That'd been
and for the same reason that you literally just said. You don't know what he had and blah 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 and everything. You don't even know that woman. And Okay.
Once we've determined that your physical safety is good, crisis is averted.
Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. And I realize since we're a little over 2 hours, it is not Via's fault, it's Tracy's fault that we be on for 3 hours straight. So we'll be holding a discussion with Tracy at a later date to discuss this.
It's still my fault.
It is. It is. We're just tired as crap. We really don't have much right now.
I'm about to curl up and go straight to sleep.
Straight to bed. Yep. Deals, where can they find you?
Please go to complexsimpleman.com. I got to get more traffic on my website. More traffic. And but yeah, that's the best place to go because there you'll get my podcast and you also will get the most current YouTube videos will be there as well. And when I start the Patreon, which I am running behind on, but that's because of some issues with some legal paperwork. Once I get that squared away, then I'll be able to start the campaign fundraising for the heaters and then school supplies. So there you go.
Mickey, I think that's what it's probably going to wind up being is the after hours conversations that me, this, and Tracy does. Just to let you know, the time frame is so different. You may get a 15-minute conversation where you're shooting a breeze. You may get an hour conversation where it's a heated conversation. We don't know. But I really think that if I'm going to ask people to contribute to this station, then I think I need to offer them something other than what they can get for free. And but I can't promise you that the time frame is always going to be the same. That's the issue. I can't even. What I can promise you, one thing is it ain't going to be structured because we have yet to have an after hours conversation where it's structured. It's just whatever the subject happened to be at that time. We just talk, and it's good talk. I've never had a boring after hours with Theas and Tracy. I could tell you that much, but it depends on our how do you say it? Depends on our sleep.
Oh, but also I want to say something. Hey, Susan, thank you so much for all the feedback and the commentary on my videos. It's so cool. You have no idea how special I feel when I see comments. So thank you.
Oh, I should say this about it too.
Oh, thank you.
Susan is the coolest. We have the coolest people watching this show.
Real talk.
A part of me is gonna really hate when we actually get big because I guarantee you we're gonna get a couple of a-holes. We should be realistic about it. We are. And I'm gonna miss this camaraderie that we have with the people that we have now. But monthly what?
AMAs. After I'm not sure what an AMA is.
I don't know what AMA is. Oh boy. Yeah. We all are really cool. That's why I had to stop by saying just Susan, but Susan, Anna, Mickey,
yep,
Tracy,
Kevin when he pops up,
Kevin when he pops in, D
Aaron,
when he decides to pop in. We just have a cool group. But it's time for us to grow. It's time for us. We can't fear growth. We definitely cannot fear change. Oh. A monthly Ask Me Anything.
Yeah, Marlon, you do that.
Nope. Would never even think of going into this without you.
You do that. I will be here to support you, my good brother.
What Susan said. Okay, this is the last question. Y'all get it in quick so we can go to bed. Do you want me to just do one? Or you would like to see me, Tracy, and Theus do one? Or me and Theus do one? Or better yet, Theus by himself?
Nope, Marlon.
Just put it in there as quick as you possibly can. Who would you like the Ask Anything monthly report?
No, that'd be Marlon. Definitely Marlon. He's the leader of the family, so definitely Marlon. Just saying.
Theus is the smartest.
No. Theus has taught too much.
It'll be for Patreon supporters. Yeah, that's something that definitely is going behind a paywall. Yeah, not a chance. Okay, there you go. All three of you once a month. Everyone. Yep. That's everyone. Okay. Wait.
You are Tracy.
And you are Tracy. That's what said all three of us, everyone. Tracy, you can go to bed.
Oh, I get what she's saying. Because I said you were the leader of the family, and then you called me the smart one. Tracy's the good one.
You're the good one. Trust me.
Tracy is the hope for the future.
Tracy, you're the good one. That's what you are. I literally have said this to your face that you was the glue of this show.
Yes. Ooh.
Trust me. Because there is going to come a point where if it's just me and Theus, this show is just going to be the most, in some people's thoughts, the most immoral freaking show you could possibly think of. Because we're just going to say exactly what's on our mind. You have no idea how many times I had to pull back what I was saying going, Tracy on here. But it's your show. I know, Tracy, but still, you're on here. And I can't say exactly what I want to say, how I want to say it. So, yeah, you're the good-hearted one. But anyway, that is our show for tonight, everybody. We are going to go to bed so Theus can wake up in his nice, comfortable house with his nice heat and everything and never have to take one step out of the door and go to work and then complain about it.
Yeah, I told my nephew today because he was talking about did we get snow? And I was like, I can see it outside, but it's not real unless I go out there. So I didn't go outside.
I went out because my wife left water in the car.
There's water in the car. Yeah, we got water in the car too. But there's enough in the house. So kids went out. Wife went out with them. They played in the snow. I stayed in here and I studied. And that was it.
All right.
Then
stay over just a little bit because I have a question for you about the show. But for the rest of y'all, until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.